How's it going, everybody? This is Allycia, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
What is up, Will?
What up? What's up, everybody?
Welcome everybody to Story of the Fight. Monster Tony already joining us. Look at that. He said here, present for the roll call. Yeah, I love it. Hey, well, welcome everybody to Story of the Fight. My name is Mauro. That's my boy, Will. This is where we talk all things mixed martial arts, sometimes boxing, sometimes life. But yeah, if this is your first time joining us, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It goes a long way. We're trying to reach 9,000 subscribers. I think we're like at 8,200 right now.
82 something.
82 something.
In the 8,000s.
Steady climbing, and we appreciate it. If you don't like watching, but you like listening, you can find us anywhere podcasts are found. You're probably thinking, like, where are podcasts found? Will?
Yeah. Let's see. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anything. Google Podcasts. And if you want to follow us on social media, it's at Story of the Fight on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, Twitch, Blue Sky, Threads. It's Story of the Fight. Anyway. Blue Sky.
What is it?
That's the one that Jack Dorsey or whatever, the guy who made Twitter, he started making that one when Twitter got bought. But it's pretty whack.
I feel like every week we hop on, you mention a new social media that we're joining.
I just need to make sure we get Story of the Fight on anything, just in case it blows up. I don't want to not have it. You know what I mean?
Just in case.
So I'm scouring. But yeah, we're on everything. Storyofthefight.com. We'll show you everything. It'll also take you to our merch shop if you want to get that cool Andrew Tosti shirt that Ramiro's wearing right now, or some of the other ones, the Street Fighter, the Pride one. We have a hoodie as well, a beanie. So yeah, check it out.
Sandals, Story of the Fight sandals.
We don't have those.
Oh, okay. I thought we did.
We almost did. But they were like $40
we talked about
to make.
It. We talked
like,
about
dude, we're not going to sell these for $50. No one's going to buy these.
Yeah. It's just like regular, like most regular sandals I've ever seen. Just a Story of the Fight. Not about to charge $50 for those.
The reviews on them too are like, these are really firm, really hard. And it's like, dude, we can't sell hard sandals for $50.
That's so funny. But hey, we had some fights.
Yeah.
We had some fights on Friday night through Prime. It was a big card, right? It was headlining some really, really popular folks. Stamp is absolutely taking over the world, I feel like, with their little dance moves as she walks in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, you must have been excited because you're a huge One fan.
Yeah, One Fight Night 14, headlined by 4 women's fights, 3 of them title fights. One of them showcasing 2 champions fighting for the Muay Thai belt. So yeah, it was a pretty stacked card, as you could say. So I was excited. But the big thing is they're back in Singapore, the home of One, right? So it's a big deal. And then the leading up to it, One is putting out all these videos of Angela Lee. She's there, and it's like, oh wow, because Stamp and Ham are fighting in the main event for the interim belt of Angela's division. Angela took the division by storm. She became a champ early, and then she just blew it out, beating Stamp. Right, Stamp challenged her for the belt. She beat Stamp. She finished her, and then so a lot has happened since then. Right, where Angela stepped away for a while. So this fight was for her, the interim belt in her division. But she's there. She's in Singapore. They're putting out a bunch of videos of her being there. And it's like, man, we all kind of know what's going to happen. A couple weeks ago, I'm going to get all teary-eyed on a fucking YouTube live stream. But,
dang,
dude, so, I mean, a couple weeks ago, she puts out an article. Everyone knows the Lee family is synonymous with One. Her brother's in there. They helped kind of build One and put him on the map, and Singapore MMA in general. And their sister, she started she started fighting. It's a fight family, right? Her parents are trainers and stuff. But her sister, younger sister, signs to one, I think when she was 17. She's like a young phenom. Everyone's like, holy smokes, this girl's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, you watched some of that too. It was around the time you started watching.
Yeah.
And then she passed away at like 8, I think she was 18. And so Angela steps away. That's why they make the interim belt. There's a lot of like rumors about what happened, right? And Angela a couple weeks ago confirms the rumors that Victoria did commit suicide. And then she also talked about how in 2017, Angela was in a car crash and she took some time away from the sport. And when she came back, it was a big deal. And they used the car crash in like a lot of the promos, right? Like, man, she's coming back from a car crash and like she's gonna come back, she's still a champ, all this stuff, right? Coming back from adversity. In the same interview or article that came out a couple weeks ago, she also not only did she confirm that Victoria's death was a suicide, she also confirmed that her car crash was a suicide attempt. And it's like, geez, Louise, man. I just can't imagine coming back in a sport at the pinnacle of the sport as a champion and no teammates to help you in your performance. It's a solo sport, right? And the whole time coming back, the promos are just repeating like you at your darkest time, you know?
Yeah.
God, so heavy. So this event's happening. It's for her belt. It's for the interim belt in her division. She's there. She's doing this article. Everybody knows this article came out. And so it's a heavy week, you know. Shout out Cyrus. I was talking to Cyrus who sent us the pictures that we'll be showing, but he was talking about how much of a heavy week it was, even for like the whole one family, right? It's a emotional one, and everyone knew there was something that was going to happen, and the broadcast is going. It's great. It's a great card, and then they go to. They talk about the whole Angela situation. They show a really well done promo about her talking about everything and her foundation, which is supposed to give almost like therapy and just people to talk to and guidance for fighters specifically, but also athletes who are like struggling with this pressure that is on them, right? Just talk about it, right? Because there's not really anything like that. And then she walks through the tunnel. She's got her belt on. They give her a whole walkout. It's crazy. She's crying as she's walking on the runway. We have some pictures here, Rich. Which is that's so she retires, right? And the writing was kind of on the wall leading up to the week. This shouldn't really have been a surprise for anybody, but it was still a pretty big deal. You know, she walks down, she's crying. She goes into the cage. Mitch is in there talking to her, interviewing her. He's like about to cry the whole interview. She's crying. And then she retires. She relinquishes the belt in the cage. And it was just super powerful. Like it was just the whole time I was watching, I was like tearing up and I was like, man, this is so heavy. And it's part of like what makes fighting in general just so like, it's such a human sport, you know? It's just such a human sport because it's just at the end of the day, you know, it's a football game. You can be like, oh, I lost. My quarterback sucked this week and he can't make a throw this week, so we lost. And you can put the blame on somebody else. But with fighting, there's so much pressure on you because it's up to you to perform. And there's just something so human about that. You know, everything else gets stripped away, and it's just two humans in there. So to see something like this, it's just so heavy. And I thought it was really cool that one took the time of like a big broadcast, a big card to do this and give like a proper send off to somebody, because we don't really get to see that a lot. A lot of times a champion relinquishes a belt and it's a tweet, you know, it's an article that you see. So to see this during the event was just like, man, it's so big, you know?
Yeah, I think it's just a reminder too, though, right? Because we've mentioned it before, Will, where the reason that we love the sport is that you get to see humans push it to their absolute limit. Like you think about like Adesanya versus Gastelum, you know, and they're both each on their corner. They're about to go in the 5th round. and you just see that they're absolutely gassed, but they still give every single ounce of themselves that last round to try to walk out victorious and walk out champions. Yeah, he said, "I'm prepared to die."
Yeah, he says it right before the last round starts. It's like,
I'm prepared to die.
God, there's just some moments that are just too big.
But this reminds you that they're also pushed to the brink mentally.
Yeah.
And you talk about having to push through adversity in a sport that quite honestly doesn't pay like the other sports, unless you're that 1%. Mm-hmm. But yet you're going into the gym every single day. You're dealing with injury after injury. You're dealing with booking fights. You're dealing with all this immense pressure. But this is just a reminder, right? Like, they're humans too. Yeah, they're humans too. So it was a very touching moment. Before we keep on going, I just want to give a shout out to Andrew Toasty that joined us. Blunder Bub, of course, Colleen, Genevieve. Really appreciate everybody joining. And sorry, this is a little heavy in the beginning of the podcast. Right? This was a big moment. This was a big moment.
And I saw some people saying, like, kind of messed up with them to do this right before the title fight. Like, kind of messed up to do that to the athletes who are about to fight for the title, make them think about this. And it's like, what? And I saw other people saying, like, why are they like pushing Angela onto this stage for this moment, which is incredibly difficult? And it's like, you don't think she probably wanted to do this? You think she flew to Singapore against her will to do this? No, this is something that she probably wanted to do. It was important. It's a big deal. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was really, really classy. Yeah, Rich, if you want to, I can see you're putting through those pictures right now on the side. If you want to throw those up.
I think that the only ones that could have said, hey, not good timing were Ham and Stamp. Nobody else, I think, had the right to say whether it was good timing or not, right? They'd be the only ones that'd be able to tell you. And if you're Angela Lee, yes, you're going to want to do this, especially if you're starting up this organization, because you want as many eyeballs on this organization as possible, because you want to reach as many people as possible. You want to help as many people as possible. So yes, you're going to want to do this.
Exactly. Yeah. And man, look at these pictures, dude. Like the twister she had a twister. She's so good. Genevieve says it would have been weird to do it after though too. It would have taken down the energy of the champ win. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Instead, now we have this emotional fight that's like it was so big. But yeah, Angela had a crazy career, man. With her grappling was insane. She had that twister. She just had so many cool moments in one. Including beating Stamp, right? She's finished Stamp. Not even and Stamp almost finished her with the body shot in their fight. She hurt her real bad with the body shot. And then Angela came back, talk about dealing with adversity, came back and then beat her. And she had like a pretty profound impact on Stamp's life and career. I think the next picture is probably after their fight, where Stamp lost. She didn't get the belt, right? Blunderbub says, incredible how one has leaned into the topic of suicide instead of trying to avoid it or hide it. That's the other big thing. A lot of the times people don't like to talk about this because it's so heavy and like they just kind of shut it away. But like that almost adds to the problem, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then like you said, in hindsight, she did talk to both Stamp and Ham the day before to tell them that she was going to be retiring and that they would be fighting for the undisputed belt. So, Rich, we have a video of Angela talking to Stamp and telling her. One did such a good job with all the content this week. They just had so much.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you that
listen to this.
Tomorrow, I'm going to be officially announcing my retirement. Oh. Yeah. And so your fight is going to be for the real belt against Ham. Yeah. And I want to let you know beforehand so can prepare so it's not a shock. Do your best tomorrow. It's going to be good. Okay?
I will.
I know. Thank you. Thank you. I will try tomorrow. I will do my best tomorrow. I don't know what happens, but I will try. I know. That's the most important, like... Just go out there and do what you love to do, and try not to worry. Yeah. I will do.
Keep going, Rich.
Yeah. Don't worry. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm here for you too.
Can I call you Sita?
Yes.
Thank you. I love you so much.
Man, this is
God,
deep.
Got it right there.
Yeah, that's so intense,
Man,
dude.
that's
You know,
so
and
heavy.
it's super heavy. You could see the genuine shock right in Stamp's face as she's hearing the news, and to see like like just the admiration between the two women was very nice to see, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Genevieve with the crying emojis. Yeah, it was. I mean, Stamp talks about it all the time about how like how much of an idol Angela is. So yeah, big deal. We can cover the fights now. Start
Yeah,
this off
because
super
that
heavy.
last video, right,
Mhm.
kind of shows the buildup. So just imagine what Stamp is feeling
And
before she
Ham too.
walks out.
There's a video. We're not going to show it, but there is a video of Angela talking to Ham as well about it, and it's heavy as well. But you know, I don't know if Ham is idolizing Angela the same way that Stamp does.
Yeah, and so that leads us to the fight. We had
Yeah.
Stamp Vertex versus Seo Hee Ham. Did I pronounce that correctly?
It's actually but
So, well,
you
it
nailed it.
was close.
Yeah.
Other than the first name, you nailed it.
Yeah.
But since I've started watching one, I've
Just
been
call
a
her
huge
Hamderley.
fan of Stamp. And I think that's how it really got started, where you sent me a video and you're like, hey, you got to check this girl out.
That's how I got you. Because for
Yeah.
so long I was trying to get you. I was trying to get you to watch one. Stamp is how I got you, and I'm sure that's not rare. I think she probably has gotten a lot of attention for one. But yeah, I was glad that I finally, as soon as I saw, I watched the Atomweight Grand Prix that she was in, and then when she finished it with the armbar over Ritu Fagat, I was like, with that walkout and the celebration after, I was like, this is how I'm going to get Ramiro. This is how I'm going to do it.
You're like, I found it. And the thing that I've always loved about Stamp that rings true even on this last fight is that she's so good at reacting off her back foot when somebody's coming in with quick pressure, where like she has that quick elbow up the middle, that quick elbow inside, right? But her counters are so good, man.
Yeah,
and she is so fast.
Vicious, man. And the like the body shots, I've always loved fighters who go to the body. She has so many body shot finishes, and she hurt Angela to the body. So the fight starts, and there's definitely a good like feeling out process, right? First round, a little slow. The boss is asking for action. Stamp's throwing kicks. Ham's kind of on the outside, you can't really reach her. I think it's the second round where she started throwing these high kicks, and she just kept throwing them, and Ham was blocking them, but they were kind of rattling her a little bit, and she threw like 4 of them in a row. And then, but on the 5th one, Ham was like, you can't just keep doing that. And she caught her off the kick, and she dropped it. And at the end, Stamp said, yeah.
Boom.
At the end, Stamp said that, shout out for all the pictures. One did a great job having like multiple photographers for the event. But Stamp was like, yeah, she just, it was mostly I slipped. I don't know about that one, man.
Nah.
That was a big one.
Maybe she thought she did.
Yeah.
Because she might have been flashed.
There's a gap there. She
might have been flashed. Yeah, she ended up on her back, and she was like, "Oh, I must have slipped right now."
Yeah. And then it's like, okay, this is if you're fighting Stamp, you definitely would rather be fighting her on the ground than
100%.
You don't want any part of that
until Friday night.
Yeah, and then Ham, she did a great job following her off the knockdown, ending up on top. Stamp throws like an armbar that doesn't really do much, and then Ham is not doing a ton of damage off the top. Blunderbob says, I slipped on my back and my eyes swelled up. I don't know what happened.
Exactly.
Exactly. So this was the armbar attempt that didn't really go anywhere. But then there was a second armbar attempt at the end of the round that was nasty.
Look tight.
Yeah, it was nasty. And I don't know if you caught it too, but when she first stood up out of the armbar, Ham just straight dropped a knee on her face, and I was like, "Oh, that's nasty." And then the round ended, and I was like, "Man, that was a gnarly exchange. This is heating up. We're heating up now." Because that first round was a little bit of a lull. Second round, she got dropped, threw up an armbar attempt, and then but the fight starts standing. You got to get her down.
Yeah. Fortunately for Ham.
Yeah, and Ham did a good job pressuring then in that last round. And she had her up against the fence a couple times. But Stamp did a good job defending takedowns, which is just this evolution of like, I mean, she's a Muay Thai fighter, you know? She shouldn't have good takedown defense yet. Yet here she is throwing up arm bars off her back, looking for submissions, defending takedowns. It's impressive, you know? And then there's a moment where they separate off the fence. Ham comes in, she attacks the body, and Ham takes a step back. And it takes a second for Stamp to recognize, like, ooh, that might have hurt her. And then, but once she recognizes it, she literally just sprints at her.
Pounced on her. Yeah.
She throws a knee to the body and then 2 gnarly right hands to the body. And Ham goes down like in physical pain, like she's screaming in pain. This is so gnarly.
Now, you have to fill me in because you've seen Ham fight before, right? Is Ham known more as a striker? Is she known more as a grappler?
She's a solid mixed martial artist. She didn't do so well in the UFC, but it's also because there's no atomweight division in the UFC. You know what I mean? She was coming into this with a 9-fight win streak. So, yeah, she's very good. She definitely.
I was trying to figure that out because watching Stamp, and this is the most well-rounded she has seen from all the fights that I've watched her in. And so that's why I was just wondering, like, hey, was part of it the fact that Ham's just not a very good grappler? Or is this both, like, Ham not being the best grappler and Stamp also improving in the process? Like, what was this?
Yeah, no, Ham is definitely good. Blunderbow says, I was like 80% that Stamp was going to win, but I was still relieved Thailand got the win that night, or got a win that night. Yeah, it was a tough night for Thailand, but they got it where it counts. But yeah, Ham was very good. Ham's very good. You know, she's getting a little up there in age. I think she's 36, so this might have been her last chance at a belt. But yeah, she is very good. And I'm actually, let's see. I am going to share my screen really quick, so we can see that armbar attempt.
Oh, okay.
So she throws it up, and watch this knee from Ham. Bam!
Oh,
nasty, right? And then here is the finish. She recognizes it, and then watch these right hands. Bam! Bam!
Right to the gut.
Oh my god, dude!
Wow, super impressive. Hey, by the way, anybody that's just listening, tune in to YouTube. We're showing
watch it on YouTube
clips.
or Twitch.
We got pictures, you know. Yeah, but that way you can see exactly what we're talking about and what we're referencing. But it was a fun night, man. And that was just capped it off with Stamp's performance. It was absolutely amazing.
And then you know what capped off even that?
What
was the fact that they had Angela in there to give her the belt.
Yeah, that was legit. She comes in and hands it. Look at that.
I mean, it's so cool to do that, you know.
Well played, Chachi.
I mean, just
well played.
So classy, you know.
Yeah. You remember when all this had originally happened with Victoria, and you know who was it? It was like one of the ringside announcers that's like, hey, like let's talk about the event coming up here in a couple months. And Chachi's like, no, man, like I'm not gonna talk about the event right now. Like this is way too heavy. Like something happened to one of our family members in one. Like not right now. And I was like, damn, man, Chachi's got some class, dude.
Yeah, he could have used that opportunity to promote the open weight tournament, which I don't even know if that's still happening. But yeah, that was when he brought that up, I was like, oh no. But yeah, look at these. Yeah, so Chachi was like, come on, man.
Yeah,
I'm about to cry too. Like it's brutal, dude. But yeah, also really cool that they're back in Singapore. The last couple fight nights have been not the last couple, but more than a handful have been in Lumpini. I think probably just because logistics, it's a lot easier when they're already there every Friday. But we don't get stuff like this. And these next couple pictures, we just don't get that. I mean, look at this.
What a good picture. You know I'm a fan of the gold confetti, dude.
Yeah, seriously. The gold
Nothing gets me going more.
Yeah. I mean, look at this. And this is now Stamp this is her third sport that she's a champion of. She's got a kickboxing title, Muay Thai title, and now an MMA title. That's incredible.
That's
It's
absolutely
really incredible.
She's the first one to do that in one?
She might be the first one to do that.
Like just in general?
Maybe, dude. I don't know anybody else who has kickboxing and Muay Thai titles who then came to MMA to get an MMA belt. And people might say, oh, it's in one. She didn't do that in the UFC. It's like, yeah, she can't because the UFC doesn't have an atomweight division. So this is it. This is the atomweight division, you know? It's not like there's better fighters in this division in the UFC. This is it. This is the pinnacle, you know?
Yeah. Maybe Rich can research that in the background. Maybe Rich, if you can find it, put it on the private chat. And just if there's anybody else that holds 3 consecutive titles right now, or that has,
yeah,
that's
Genevieve,
pretty impressive, man.
Very impressive. Genevieve says everybody shits on Stamp's grappling, and I don't get it. Not a bad grappler just because they're an amazing striker. Yeah, I think people just assume because she's such a good striker that, and we don't see it maybe as often, the grappling, because she's just finishing people with like body kicks and stuff like that. And then, you know, she lost to Angela via submission, but like it's Angela. She got a fucking twister, for Christ's sake, you know. But man, she's got submission wins. When she subbed Ritu, I was like, oh no, this is an issue. Like, because that was supposed to be the kryptonite, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was supposed to be like, yeah, she's good, but like, just wait till she gets taken down and stuff, you know. But no, you can't.
That's awesome.
She's good.
That is awesome.
Maybe Holly Holm, right? She might have a boxing title, UFC title, and then maybe she had kickboxing or something at one
consecutive?
point. I don't know.
Like all at the same
No.
time?
Well, Stamp's not consecutive either.
Oh, okay. So she's not holding all 3 titles right now.
No. But I mean, you know who beat her? We can move on to the co-main event.
Oh, okay. So we have Sundell versus Rodrigues.
Smilla, dude. Smilla's nasty. She trains with Stamp, and Allycia is the one who Allycia beat Stamp. So this was a somewhat short notice fight. Smilla was supposed to be defending her belt against Jackie Buntan. Buntan had to pull out, which sucks because I really like Jackie. But then Allycia stepped in, who's the champion of the weight class below Smilla. So now it's a champ versus champ fight. Allycia going for double champ status, and I was like, you know what? If you're gonna rebook a fight, that's a pretty good alternate. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Huge size difference. Massive size difference.
Yeah, you could tell that Alicia's from the weight class below, you know?
Yeah.
Also, Smilla's just a giant in general. I mean, she's 18 years old, by the way.
18 years old, super lanky. She has like the perfect frame for this sport.
From what time, man. Yeah, the knees, like she's a wood chipper, dude. You can't get in on her. And you'd think she wants to like fight at range and stuff, but she just walks you down, dude. It's crazy. Her pace is nuts.
And with the ability to fight tall, which we've talked about in the past. Like if you have that height, know how to use it. Yeah. And she knows how to use it. She reminds me so much of O'Malley in her striking because O'Malley has this thing where at the end of his punches, like he has a snap to him at the very end.
Got the whip.
You know, some people are out of position. Yes. Some people are out of position when they're like really reaching and extending, where they are not able to get very much power at the end of their shots. Not Sundell, dude.
No.
Dude, she was cracking Rodrigues at the very end.
Yeah, and Allycia, like at the first round, I thought Allycia won the first round. It was close, but I thought she took it. And she had a lot of success in this position here where she was able to get that left elbow over the top. And you can see in this picture where Smilla's right elbow is a massive knot from those elbows. And she was landing good shots. And I was like, oh man, Alicia's doing a really good job of smothering the taller fighter, you know? And then at the end of the first round, Smilla cracked her, I think with the left hook, as Allycia was coming in, and it just like stopped her in her tracks for a second. And I was like, oh, that's the most significant strike so far. And then after that, she was just lighting her up on the outside. And then Allycia went back to the corner, and they're like, they must have told her like, hey, the first round you had success with that elbow over the top in the clinch. We need you to push that, clinch her, really fight dirty in the clinch with her. Not like cheating, but just like, you know, dirty box, mix it up, right? And then she's really started going for that clinch in the third round, and Smilla made the adjustment. You know, in the clinch later on in the fight, it was not the same as the beginning of the fight. She started blasting her with knees. Allycia couldn't get the elbow over the top anymore. She was really working her in the clinch, and eventually she just beat her on volume.
Yeah, she got pretty beat up there in the last round. Rodrigues did. It was definitely one-sided there as the fight got closer to the end. The thing that I did respect a lot with Rodrigues is, because she was working off her back foot a little bit, Sundell was nonstop pressure, man. This girl's gas tank is insane.
18-year-olds don't get tired.
Yeah, keep on going. But dude, just punch after punch, elbow after elbow, knee after knee. If you're Rodrigues, you're like, hey, give me a chance to breathe real quick.
Yeah, can I have a second, dude?
Exhausting. And Rodrigues in that first round was like, all right, this is how you want to fight? Let's go. And she was going toe-to-toe with her in that first round. When Rodrigues would take a step back off her back foot, she would explode off that back foot and shoot to the body. Or she would explode off that back foot and come up top. And that expends a lot of energy too when you're winding up like that,
Oh, yeah,
and
totally.
especially when you're winding up and the person in front of you takes that shot and just keeps on moving forward.
Just keeps walking forward. Also, fantastic job by the cutman in this fight. That swelling over the eye of Smilla after that first round, it was almost gone. It doesn't look nearly as bad here, even in this picture after the fight. They did a great job with that. And we can show some of these highlights. But look how vicious Smilla is, dude. Like you said, just walking her down. This is the second round. So the first round is where Allycia had most of her success.
This is really the whole fight, though, where even when Allycia was having some success, Sundell was still just marching forward.
Yeah, it never affected.
Whether it's that small jab that was just tapping, coming in with shots to the body, mixing it up so well.
Knee, dude.
I know. I'm a fan, man.
Yeah, I mean, both these girls. Allycia, if you didn't see Alicia's last fight, defending her belt, very good. Coming back from having a child, and that was the big question mark. How is she going to fight? Beat the brakes off of her. It was a fantastic performance. But you could tell eventually she's just slowing down, and you could see the size difference, right? It's pretty obvious. Smilla normally has a size
difference.
Yeah, I was going to say Smilla always has a size difference just because she's so long, even for her weight class. But you take someone from a weight class below, and it's just gonna, extrapolate it. And then we can go here to the finish. I mean, look at these knees, dude.
Oh, that last one was pretty nasty, right on the forehead.
Yeah.
Strong Muay Thai clinch. Look, at
this is right at the end of the round, too.
Rodrigues is just kind of holding on for dear life at this point,
Yeah, exhausted. Oh, the body shot there. Step and elbow.
But also just beat up,
Yeah,
this is how this entire round pretty much was.
Eventually turns away, gets a standing finish. Yeah.
What a performance by Sundell, huh? That was really, really good.
Yeah, really good. And I think finishes like that, it reminded me of Joanna Jędrzejczyk, right? Who came from Muay Thai, where she would get those finishes off the fence, those standing finishes, where it's just volume and you're just like getting hit from all these different angles. You're exhausted because cardio-wise, and like you said, you're also just beat up, you're probably concussed, and you're just like, I don't know what's happening anymore. And someone's just throwing fire at you from all of these different angles. I cannot imagine fighting somebody like that.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Overwhelming.
Yeah.
Is the only thing I can think of, Yeah. But fantastic performance by Sundell. Rodrigues still a champion in her weight class, so she's just going to go back and do her thing. No love lost there. Stepped up, short notice in a way, and still put in a really good performance, especially in that first round. After that, it was a little rough, but still, props to you.
And Wondergirl says one of the commentators was saying that Allycia must see something in the clinch in the third round. And I was like, yeah, it's not getting punched in the head. Also, another note on this, one is usually very quick to break up the clinch in Muay Thai. It's probably one of the biggest complaints that you can have about the Muay Thai in one. It's hard to find something to complain about, right? It's pretty fucking crazy and it's fireworks constantly. But they have a short leash on the clinch, and that's something that historically Muay Thai is, they let you work in the clinch, and this fight, they weren't separating them at all. It was like, there's so much clinching, and it was awesome. And it was like, great, this is cool. I hope this maybe is something that they'll continue throughout the other Muay Thai fights, but who knows? Good fight, though. title fight.
All right, we can move on. We did have Danielle Kelly go up against Jessa Khan.
Yeah, Khan's got a win over Kelly in the past, but Danielle
Sounded
Kelly's
really
kind of
confident
like
going in.
Yeah.
Confident going in.
I mean, Khan has legitimate, more so gi than no gi, legitimate gi credentials and accolades. And Kelly is kind of like they're trying to make her like the poster child of grappling, women's grappling, at least in one. I think this is the first.
Women.
Yeah, yeah. I think this is the first championship for women's grappling in one.
Yep.
I believe. Yeah, good match. I actually I asked Danielle about whether she likes her last match was in Lumpini and it was in the ropes. I asked her about like does she prefer grappling in the ropes or the cage, and she said that she likes using the cage. And I was like,
we saw it.
We saw it.
That's one of my biggest
like,
notes.
You know the meme of DiCaprio like pointing at the screen. That's how
I
felt.
yeah.
When she, yeah, I was like, that's what she said. But yeah, she did a great job of pushing her up against the fence and really blocking her movement and options off the fence.
It looked so uncomfortable. Hey, props to Khan though. Like as you see on the picture here, took Danielle's back early.
Sick, man.
It was cool, really slick, man.
But then Danielle used the cage to escape the back, right?
Yep.
And with grappling in one, the rules are, obviously you're hunting for a submission. It's 1 10-minute round. If you submit them, you win, obviously. If it goes to time, then it's whoever had the most legitimate submission attempts, which is catches, right? So if you get on the scoreboard by getting a catch, and a catch is ruled when it's like a legitimate submission attempt that needs to be defended. You can't just like throw stuff out. It's not going to count, right? It has to be legitimate. This has potential to finish it. You'll get a catch. If there's no catches, then it's more so aggressiveness, things like that, other metrics. But when Khan had Danielle's back, she almost had like a neck crank a little bit. It wasn't ruled a catch, and I think it's because Danielle did a really good job of just constantly moving in that position and never really like settled in it, if that makes sense. I saw some people saying that should have been a catch, and there's favoritism in one because that should have been a catch, blah, blah, blah. Not really. It was across her head. It was a neck crank, kind of. But Danielle's position, she moved her body to the side a little bit more, so it was almost like her body was able to turn with the crank, and it wasn't so much just like all neck. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then she attacked the legs, toe hold, arm, leg, knee bar / toe hold position. That got ruled a catch. And then it's like, all right, Khan better be aggressive now. She needs a catch to even this up. And she couldn't. So Danielle got it on points.
Yeah, props to Danielle. I'm excited to see some more of this grappling, man. In one, it's a nice change of pace. Nice change of pace.
I know some people don't like it, and they're like, it kills the pace of the event. I think it's great. I think it's awesome. I think it's really cool. I mean, look at this.
You didn't ask Danielle if she wanted to hop on the podcast?
I didn't. I probably should have, huh?
You probably should have, dude. You're talking to her. Was this through Reddit?
This is on Reddit, yeah.
Chatting back and forth about the cage, and you think, hey,
no,
it
was one question.
Blunderbuff
says, need a rule where corners can't yell catch. That was a little infuriating. Throughout the match, the corners are yelling catch, and it's like, no, stop. Because what if the judges hear that? You know what I mean? Like, what if the judges think that's the ref? Luckily, the ref also does a signal, but it's still maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't allow that. But they're still making rules. They're still shifting things and morphing this division and this sport in one. Everybody has their own kind of take on grappling and rule sets and things like that. So maybe they will. Real quick, I do want to show this back take. Whoops, because it was sick. We're gonna have the Smilla finish and then the back take right after.
Into the back take.
Whew. Yep. Look at her, keep rolling with her. And this will show the neck crank. And look at it, she just rolls with her. Does such a great job. This will show the neck crank, but it will also show the escape from Kelly, which I thought the escape was, again, because of the cage. She was able to use the cage. So she really, really, I like that, Sometimes you can use the ropes to escape a submission.
Holding her arm and pushing the elbow up at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, like even like right here, it looks like she's kind of turning away, trying to escape.
I thought that was going to be a catch, but it looks like Suleiman did a great job really watching it. But here's the neck crank. But see how Kelly's turning with it almost, where it
Yeah.
never really was threatening, I don't think. And now she's kind of off to the side where her shoulder's on the mat rather than like chest to back. And here she's turning and she's using the cage here. Once they scoot over a little bit more, she's going to roll over again, put Khan up against the fence like this, and now Khan can't move, and so she can turn in, and Khan can't turn with her.
Slick.
So
Very nice.
sick, man. And then she ends up on top. It was a fun match, man. Good back and forth. Couple reversals throughout it.
Yeah.
It was fun.
All right. We can move on to the next one. Let me see. Who was it? It was Xiong Jingnan versus Wondergirl.
Yeah, special rules. This was a so Xiong is the MMA champ. She beat actually Angela in another division, the higher division, to take her belt. And then Wondergirl is a Muay Thai fighter. So they were like, how do we make this interesting? And they're like, let's do 4-ounce boxing. No kicks. Take away the kicks from Wondergirl. Take away the takedowns from Xiong. And they'll just box it out with the 4-ounce gloves. But also allow spinning back fists and Superman punch and stuff. Maybe should have outlawed hammer fists. You know what I mean? Probably not the best idea to have those.
This fight was very interesting for me. I was watching this and I was like, what is going on?
Look, you got to shoot your shot. You got to take risks. You got to take chances. One did that with the Rodtang versus Mighty Mouse, right? Where it was a Muay Thai first round and a second round was MMA. And that whole fight, the whole first round, Rodtang's pressuring. And you're like, I'm on the edge of my seat because this dude cracks and Mighty Mouse can't take him down. What is going to happen? And then the round ends and then the second round starts. And it's like, how's Rodtang going to deal with takedowns? And immediately it was flipped. It was Mighty Mouse pressuring, Rodtang on his back foot, circling. And I was on the edge of my seat. Is he going to get taken down? He did. He got submitted. Probably that's what would happen 9 times out of 10. But this fight, not as interesting as far as the rules and things like that. I like that they're trying at least, seeing what sticks, because there was a lot of people that hated on them for doing even the 4-ounce Muay Thai. They're like, what are you doing? Don't do that. And it's amazing. So you have to take risks. You have to try these things. And there were moments in this that were fucking fireworks, where they're just standing in the pocket swinging at each other. But then there were so many shots to the back of the head because of rolling, but then also allowing hammer fists. They're getting cracked in the back of the head and both calling timeout. And it really just disrupted the whole thing. It just needs, if they're going to continue doing this, they really need to refine it and make sure stuff like that doesn't happen, because it really took out the pace of the fight.
The pace, the excitement, the you name it.
Yeah.
Like just every few minutes, it's one of them complaining about shots to the back of the head.
Yeah.
And then, Xiong coming in with this huge hammer fist up the middle, and then, Wondergirl complaining again, I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of this one. Genevieve saying the non took so many hits to the back of the head that never got stopped for, but Wondergirl was playing up shots that never landed for pauses.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a swing and a miss for one. This fight, it also
I will give props though to Xiong, because she picked up on this little rhythm that Wondergirl was on. So Wondergirl had like the Mike Tyson bobbing and weaving. Like she was walking in and she had the big bob and weaves, right? But then when she would throw, she wouldn't throw from different angles. She would bob and weave, and stand
reset.
And throw standing. And so
gotcha.
You have go back and watch it. It's so funny, dude, because she's like bob, weave, and then she stands up straight, throws shots, and then Xiong does such a good job. Look, Xiong does such a good job. Once she starts throwing up top, then Xiong comes down and throws from different angles and caught Wondergirl so many times. So she would wait. Cool, she's throwing. Boom, up top, down, up top. And she did such a good job with it. And I was like, well, she's got her down, man. She's got her timing down. She's got her rhythm down. She made it so easy for Xiong, man.
That left hand over the shoulder from Xiong was so good. It kept landing over and over and over again. When they were in the pocket, this was fucking awesome. It just kept getting reset and stopping.
See, look at the angles that Xiong is throwing from here. And she's landing, right?
Yeah.
Look, giving her different angles. But then again, Wondergirl, even though she had a bunch of movement coming in, she would be standing straight up when she started throwing.
Yeah, when you watch the highlights of this fight, it looks like a fucking.
You're like, oh my
barn
god,
burner.
this was a banger.
Yeah,
and then you go back and watch the fight, and you're like, wait, what happened?
Why do they keep stopping?
Is this the same fight?
Yeah, I mean,
They're pointing fingers at each other. Like, come on.
yeah.
Like, she hit me.
And
No,
then
she hit me.
the finish was where do I have it? There it is. You could tell Wondergirl was exhausted at this point and just so much slower, and Xiong was just pounding her out, dude. I mean, look at these shots. I think the boss was close to stopping it there, and then he just needed a little. He was like, "Just give me a reason, I'll stop it."
Yeah, he's ready. Look at him. Look at him.
Yeah,
Stalking. He's about to jump in there. About to jump in. He's like, all right, that's.
he's
enough.
like, "Yeah, no, you're not even fighting back at this point." Hello,
Yeah.
tornado kick.
All right, but that was an interesting fight. You want to move on to the next one? I think we got like 13 minutes left before we hit the hour mark.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna go through the next few a lot faster than the last few.
All righty, we had Lineker versus Loman.
Yeah, maybe well, this will be a quick one. Loman did a good job in that first round, really throwing those high kicks. I think they were open stance, right? Southpaw versus Orthodox, if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
So that left kick from Loman was really there to the body, right? That's the liver shot, right? From a Southpaw against an Orthodox fighter. He kept going high with it, and he was having success with it early in the first round. He scored a really good reactive takedown, GSP type takedown in the first round. But then after that, it was all he stopped setting stuff up. He was just throwing naked kicks and then naked takedowns, really trying to force things, it seemed like. And Lineker was just not having any of it, stuffing
Lineker
everything.
out there doing it for all us short kings. You know what I mean? I appreciate you, Lineker, the amount of distance he's able to cover.
Yeah,
He really from
does,
the outside. He covers so much distance like that, man. And I absolutely love watching it. One for the short kings right here with Mr. John Lineker, dude.
He also rips shots to the body, and you love to see that. He just
for sure.
He'll throw his hand like behind his back, like Marge Simpson, and just crack you to the body. It's sick, dude. But yeah, this one went to decision. Ended up going to Lineker. I think he was just more aggressive and landed. He started landing a good left hand throughout the fight.
Yeah.
Harder shots there. Mm-hmm. And Loman just had a lot of kind of like failed attempts. He just didn't. Nothing was set up. He stopped setting stuff up. Blunderov says like getting stalked by a bulldog. Yeah, Lineker is the epitome of a bulldog. Look at this guy. Had a good low kick.
Still fun to watch.
Low kick to the groin from Loman. Lineker, it's like he has to get hit in the nuts every single fight, it seems like.
Yeah, it's not a Lineker fight if he doesn't.
Yeah, truly. I liked at the end of the fight too, where Lineker was trying to get him to he's like, come on, let's make this a brawl, dude. This.
Yeah,
it's like,
Loman
no,
was
dude,
like, nah, dude,
I'm never doing that with you. You're the worst person to do that with.
Nice try, Lineker. All right. You want to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
We had Menshikov versus Legatron.
Menshikov is my boy.
Dude, these names. Legatron?
Yeah, Menshikov's a good one, dude. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Menshikov.
Yeah, Dmitry, dude. Whew. Yeah, Legatron is sick. And he showed why he's called that. As soon as the fight started, this dude is blasting kicks.
Oh,
Holy
right to the
smokes.
arm. Right
Yeah.
to the, do you see how red his arm was?
Menshikov's doing a good job of getting the guard up and blocking it. Like here, he's blocking it and it's not up against the head. You block a kick sometimes and it still goes through your wrist and rattles your brain. He was doing a good job of catching it out a little bit further away from himself. But yeah, his right arm was like it was like a different color, dude. Like it was smoked. Also shout out Menshikov for just going out there and just like regular pickup game basketball shorts, it seems like, in a Muay Thai fight. I thought that was pretty baller of him.
Do it. It's got a Jordan logo on it.
Yeah, I got an and one on it. It was interesting to see, but yeah, Legatron, as soon as Menshikov was getting past his kicks, he started blasting with his hands, and this dude cracks, dude. He hits so goddamn hard. You could see once he got past the kicks and he starts mixing things up, and Legatron's up with the high guard and he's just going around it, splitting it, and he's just mixing it up so well, lighting him up, nasty power. And you gotta love a fight that ends with the 3 knockdown rule. I thought after the first knockdown, I was like, okay, that's it. He just KO'd him. And
so did the
announcers. Got up. Yeah. And
they're
he just
like,
got up.
It's over. Wait, nope.
He's good. And then And then he dropped him again. I was like, maybe we do call it. And he got up again, and I was like, God, man, what are these guys made out of? And then Menshikov put him down.
Yeah, the thing that we have to mention too, Will, like, here's a shot. He's coming in with that right. He was throwing those wide rights a lot. And then Legatron, as he was coming in, trying to go in around guard, there was a few times he'd step in with an elbow that caught Menshikov a few times. So Menshikov's like, oh, you think I'm going to come around with that high guard? He comes in with that, like, shovel hook uppercut and just cracks Legatron. And that's when you started seeing Legatron start getting a little wobbly. Yeah, boy was on skates.
Not doing well now. Wondergirl says it's a Russian thing. Tracksuits in the streets, basketball shorts in the ring.
I love it.
There was also Menshikov. He made his
pickup game right after that.
Yeah, Menshikov's one debut was against Irsel. Nasty debut. He got knocked out, and that was one where it was like, this might be too soon, but if he could pull this off, this is crazy. And he also like, I thought he could do it. I was like, this guy might beat. I mean, Irsel's so good. It was like, if I was betting on it, I would bet on Irsel. But I was like, Menshikov is very good, but he's a little bit unproven. But it wouldn't surprise me if he is that guy. If he is that good, he got knocked out. But then he was supposed to fight Sinsima in this fight. Sinsima has fought Irsel twice. Took him to split decision once, and I was like, this is a very good next test for Menshikov. Sinsima had to pull out. Legatron comes in, and then Menshikov does what he does. I mean, he's just a powerhouse. And let's see it. So this is the first knockdown. I was like, that's it. The way he fell, I was like, you got to call that. And then he just got up.
Yep.
I was like, how do you get up from that? And then at this point, you're in kill mode, right? If you're Menshikov.
Yeah, he lands another big one. But dude, right here after the second knockdown, I was like, oh, we might have ourselves something. Right, because Legatron comes in, and was it a big straight right that he threw or something like that knocked him back?
Yeah, he's fighting back. It's not like he's not a lamb out there.
Yeah, no.
Elbows.
He's trying to crush him with
bam.
Boom.
There's a left hand. So good.
Dude, I stood up on that, and I was like, oh, yeah, we're supposed to come back. And I was like, oh, no.
There's those uppercuts. Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, man, what a fun fight, though.
Yeah.
What a fun fight. All right, we can move on to the next one. We had Folayang versus Khan. Khan.
Monster Tony says, I couldn't believe it continued after the head bounced off the canvas like that. Yeah, I was like, that's it. Anytime you like flop, where your body falls first and then your head falls, it's like, whoo. But then he got up.
You got Menshikov in those basketball shorts bouncing heads like basketballs. You know what I mean? That's perfect. All right, let's move on that one. So, yeah, Folayang versus Khan. Folayang early getting attacked by the jab.
Yeah, Amir Khan's so fast and so long, and he was just jabbing him up. It was like GSP versus Koscheck, just constantly jabbing him. Folayang just trying to get in, but he's a little bit slower now, as he's up there. Dude, Folayang fought on the very first one event. How cool is that?
That is pretty sick.
How cool is that? He's a legend, man. He's a straight-up legend. 1FC1, champion versus champion. He fought on that. Wow. So sick, dude. And, he's had some ups and downs throughout his career, but the dude cracks, and he's always in dogfights, and he's a legend. He's one legend. So the whole time, Blunderhoof says Will was lit in the chat for this one. I was like, the whole fight, I was like, please, just get in. And he just couldn't quite close the distance. He did land a couple good shots throughout it, but Amir was just, he was just so fast and using his range so well.
Well, the problem with it too was Amir was so good to like go in with that jab and then just take a quick step back and be out of range. He's gone. And he'd throw the 1-2 and then he'd be gone again.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the Folayang, you're reaching a little bit, and it's tough. And then at the end of the fight, when you think this might be a foregone conclusion, Folayang does it. He fucking did it. And the way he set it up, dude, you just pushed him. He finally got him against the cage, and that's how he did it. He finally pushed him up, cut him off. Amir couldn't go anywhere, and then he cracked him. Was it a left hook that dropped him, and he was out. Like, not a TKO. This is a knockout.
It was a big left hand, yeah.
Yeah. Here it is.
You got the highlight here? Boom. Shot to the body, moves him back against the cage, right?
And then bam.
Boom. Oh, and then he lands that huge right.
Yeah. Hello.
Straight from Thailand.
With the Philippines.
Oh, the Philippines. So you talk about, though, his ability to get in and out. with that range.
You mean?
But you're absolutely
Amir Khan.
Khan.
Yeah.
But to take that away, especially when somebody's not moving laterally, right? They're not using their lateral movement. They're just going straight back. Is to get them up against the cage because then they're stuck. You know, this remind me of Izzy.
Yeah.
Right, where he does a good job of like doing this where he like leans back. He leans back a lot to try to avoid shots. He got Robert Whittaker that way, actually, off that nice counter when he leans back and he comes in with his own right.
Costa as well.
Yeah, same with Costa. But when Pereira gets him up against the cage and he can't lean back, then he's going to get cracked. And it's the exact same thing that we saw last night with Khan, where he's doing a really good job coming in and moving straight back to get out of range. And you get pushed up against the cage and you're so used to just going back, you're going to have to eat a shot or two. And if you can't take that shot, man.
Yeah, it's also in that clip, the first one, the first little highlight that it showed, I thought it was going to be the knockout, but it was really that right hand to the body almost, to the chest kind of from Folayang to back him up against the fence. And he throws the left and misses, but Khan is circling out towards that left hook. So then it's like, oh, okay, if he's exiting that way, let's just bring that up a little higher, use the footwork a little bit more, and then he lands it, puts him out. It's awesome.
Perfect.
I love it, man. Folayang's
that last shot at the end, though, like he just punched straight through him. Like he punched through his face, and now he's trying to punch through the canvas at the exact same time. That is rough.
And he damn near did. What a legend, man. I fucking love the guy. So sick to see him get the win. And with a finish,
that is awesome.
God.
All right. You want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, dude. This was gnarly, huh?
Mauro Cerilli versus Paul Elliott.
Yeah. The King of the North, Paul Elliott, right? Is this King of the North?
Is that his nickname?
Yeah, Game of Thrones, you know? Rob Stark. Jacked. Elliott is jacked.
All night.
He's like, what, 230, fucking shredded. And you're like, holy smokes. And Cerilli's like, I'm a blacksmith, dude. I don't give a fuck. You know? I like seeing judo guys excel, too, in MMA. He's a judo guy, so there's just not a ton of them, you know?
Shout out Sensei Mike Tanimoto, Killer Judo. Yeah,
Genevieve says blood, because Cerilli gets him down, lands an elbow on him, and splits him open, and immediately he's covered in blood. It was like a faucet. That was crazy, man. How quickly that opened up. Not just how quickly it opened up, but how quickly it was just pouring blood. Insane.
Yeah, I mean, was it that surprising though? Those elbows that Cerilli was landing were gnarly, man. And I was like, oh my God, like that was disgusting.
Cut to him like doing blacksmith shit. He's like making a sword, you know how they like pull it out of the thing and then like hammering it and just elbowing the sword. That's how he trains
it's insane, man. That's how he does it. Exactly.
It was a nasty one. You know,
such a gusher, said Genevieve.
Yeah. We have I think the next couple pictures show how bloody it was. He ended the round. He survived the round from the ground and pound. Here's the warning with the blood. There it is. And the next picture I think is Cerilli walking out because the round ended, and you see Elliott in the background just covered in blood, looking up like oh my God. So gnarly, dude.
Oh my God.
And then
that shot.
The round ends, and you can even kind of see it in hindsight. You can see it in this picture, but his right bicep looked like it was torn. So they called the fight in between rounds, and you can see it there kind of where it's like higher up, you know. Shout out my mom, says you could see the blood stains on the canvas for the rest of the night. Yeah, he was pouring blood. Yeah, and this was early. This was early in the card.
Was this the one where they showed somebody posted a picture afterwards of the injury where he had to get sewn up?
I did not see that.
It was disgusting, man. One of the worst cuts I've seen in a while. Yeah, you can see it kind of ball up.
You mean the cut on his forehead?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Forehead where you could kind of see his skull.
I thought you meant like they did surgery already on his arm. I was like, no way, dude.
Oh, no, dude. I'm talking about the cut on his forehead where you can kind of see his skull. It's not something we probably want to show, but
Rich in the chat says, is that my man Herb?
Oh, Rich and casual. Look, he's able to spot referees now. Dude, all right. Not so casual.
Yeah, so here's the shot that opened him up. Immediately bleeding.
Oh, yeah. Look at elbow.
And the canvas is just like...
elbow.
I mean, that is gnarly. And then they call it right there with the arm.
Herb stopping it like he has to pay for the canvas to get clean. You know what I mean? He was in a rush to stop that right after that. It was like, hey,
Yeah, that was a
let's
doozy,
not get
man.
it too dirty. It got
Maybe
red
that's why
fast, this Monster Tony.
Yeah, it got red fast. Blendrub says
man.
she hasn't told you guys about how much she loves game bred bare knuckle MMA yet. She was going feral. Dude, that bare
I
knuckle.
was laughing at that earlier when I saw that. Oh, it's so funny. All right. I think this is going to be the last one we're covering for MMA, right? And it's Asa Ten Pow
versus Rambolek.
Yeah, dude, what a nickname again. Rambolek? Come on.
Yeah, Rambolek coming off of the One Friday fights. Dude is legit. Very good. And Asa Ten Pow, obviously, he's very good as well. But yeah, early on in the fight, Rambolek's leg kicks, man. And Asa Ten Pow just had to keep eating them. It was crazy, dude. And this was a fucking firefight. These guys just going to war. Straight up.
Ton of action. Dude, Asa Ten Pow, first time watching him. New fan right here.
Yeah.
New fan. Dude, it was nonstop action, man. The timing was money.
Kick?
Right off the bat.
Kick, I mean?
Well, because you had Rambolek, who's coming in with that, what was it, a right kick to the body.
Yeah.
And every single time he started throwing in that in the beginning, Ten Pow was coming up top with that right and cracked him a few times. Dude, then that spinning back elbow. Like he timed it perfectly.
Straight to the face, dude.
Right on and blood. Genevieve must have been so happy because he just started gushing blood right out of his nose right after that. Yeah. So she must have been jumping up and down. But yeah, combinations the entire time from both of them. And I thought to myself, for all those UFC fans, all those MMA fans that get pissed off when there's a takedown, where there's lay and pray, and you're like, I wish we were just fighting the entire time, throwing blows. Watch this.
This is what you need.
At the end of the second round, all I thought was, this is some high level Muay Thai, man.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the second round, let's watch the end of that second round because holy shit, dude.
Oh, 29 seconds. Okay. All right. Hey, shout out One, by the way, for allowing us to show these clips.
Yeah. Look at these guys go. That kick right there, actually,
kick to the dome,
is what broke his arm. I don't know if you saw that, but he high kicks, he blocks it with his left hand, and he immediately holds his wrist. Look at that flying knee, the jumping switch knee, dude, to end the round.
And he's still throwing that left like nothing happened.
Yeah, dude. He catches that kick right on the forearm, and you immediately see him grab his wrist and kind of push it down a little bit.
Oh,
that's not gonna fix it, man. But we'll keep watching here because, dude.
Oh man,
the replays were insane.
Yeah.
That was from the eye poke, right? But and I was like, or Rambolek's like, I don't give a fuck, dude. You're gonna have to pull me off. There's a
I'm going until you pull me off.
Wheel kick,
some high level striking, man.
Yeah.
Boom. God. Counters all day. Look at that.
The switch knee. And Rambolek just eats it, dude. He just eats it.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And so here's the start of the third round. Immediately, I mean, think about it. His left arm is broken right now. Asa Ten Pow. Not the blue shorts. Blue shorts? I don't know. I'm colorblind. When he lands a big right hand, he's walking him down. Dodges the high kick. Bam. Big right hand.
Big shot.
And the kick as he's falling.
Kicks him right in the dome.
Metal, dude. That's some metal shit right there.
Yeah, he's badass, man.
It was his
Huge
birthday.
fan. Huge fan. All right. I think that was
real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's. There's a couple more pictures that Rich has. There's the right hand that knocked him out, and then also great photos. As he's falling, he throws the high kick. So gnarly. And then we have a picture of Rambolek is basically dead.
Thinking he's dead. Look, Olivia's like, somebody bring in a stretcher.
Get someone in here now. And then there's some pictures of also the Respect one is just so good at stuff like this. I mean, look at Rambolek's face. He doesn't even look like he's just like, nice one, dude.
Yeah, awesome kick to my cheek.
Yeah. And then there's the broken arm and the X-ray. It's not a fracture. It's a bad one.
Oh,
it's a bad one, dude. Look at that chip.
Dude, and to think that he was still throwing with that arm. Hard.
Yeah.
Hard. Oh my God, that's disgusting.
That's a bad break, dude. That's not like a clean break
Ugh.
where it just like snapped,
Yeah.
That's like they gotta go in there and like remove stuff probably. I'm not a doctor, but
Is he gonna have like a little metal thing on there the rest of his life now? Probably.
probably
Titanium.
right.
Titanium wrist.
Yeah.
All right. I believe that was the last fight we were covering in one. We also had a boxing match last night, Will.
Yes.
Right? Did you want to cover that right now?
Go for it. I didn't watch it because I'm not a huge Canelo fan.
How are you not a huge Canelo fan?
I don't like that he learned it from what's it called? He learned it from what Monster Tony says. Time for a Fight Circus recap. Fight Circus is fucking crazy, man. If you're not watching that shit, it's insane. But Canelo always has these like conditions that he makes these fighters fight at and all this stuff, and he's got a lot of like the Triple G decision was bullshit. Like there's just things about it. Everyone said he's the best Mexican fighter. Not even close.
No.
I hate that. I hate it.
So
I'm not a huge Canelo fan.
Yeah. Chavez.
Come on.
But you got to respect what he's done, man. Because look.
Oh yeah, he's very good.
All the things that you just described right now. You mean to tell me he's a boxer? That's boxing, unfortunately, my man. Which is a part of the reason that I went from watching boxing every single weekend to watching MMA every single weekend because of the ridiculous nonsense that happens on in the background a lot of times, the terrible decisions that are made by the judges, the obvious corruption that happens from the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Now you see pour over every once into MMA, right? But it's so obvious in boxing. But Canelo, he's still good, man. I mean, if you give him that loss against Triple G, that gives him a third loss in his career.
Yeah. Also, he lost the second one. So
debatable.
Make it 4.
But hey, he was originally supposed to fight. Which one of the Charlo brothers was the
Jermell, the better one?
Jermell. Yes, Jermell, the bigger one.
The better/bigger one.
Something happens. He has to pull out. He fights Jermell Charlo instead. Going in there.
Doesn't meet him in the middle. Makes him go up 2 weight classes.
Yeah, makes him go up 2 weight. But they're fighting for that belt, right?
Well, yeah, but still.
So if you're Jermell, do you want to fight in the middle and no title, or do you want to go for the belt?
I'd rather beat Canelo and have better chance of that. I think that's bigger than the belt. Wouldn't you? I would think it was bigger than the belt, right? Beating Canelo.
Maybe unless you have rematches. If you happen to beat Canelo, right? At the
there's
weight
a rematch clause.
There's a rematch clause. You get another huge payday. You fight in a catch weight. Who you rematching at that point for what money? Now you just go right back down to your normal weight division. So I get it. I get why the fight happened the way it did. Canelo, the first round, it's classic Canelo, just downloading information, taking data in, making reads, trying to get his timing down. Very low output that first round, starts picking up second and third round. Canelo does such a good job, man, of just throwing shots to the forearms, shots to the shoulders, just anything that you want to leave open, he is going to punish as much as possible.
Yeah.
And on this side, looking at it, you're like, well, how much damage is that really doing? But think about how much Jermell has to hold those arms up to block, right? So after a while, it's just painful.
Especially at a higher weight class than he's used to.
Exactly.
Canelo's very smart.
Your guard up. He's a genius, man.
Yeah.
So Charlo has a decent 5th round. Okay, and that's one of the only rounds that really the judges gave him. He was a little more active, but the entire fight, it seemed to me like Jermell was more worried about not losing than worried about winning. Does that make sense?
He didn't go for it.
Yeah, he was just so cautious the entire time. He let Canelo really just march him down, cut off the ring. And Canelo did do a very good job of that. He used his footwork very, very well to cut off the ring the entire night. But also, if you're Jermell, change it up a little bit, right? Like he had this thing where he continued moving to his right, and he would skip, and then he'd lean back on his back foot and set, and that's when Canelo would come in and throw some huge shots. And then every once in a while, you'd see Jermell fake like he's going to the right, and then actually move over to the left. I'm like, okay, hey, there we go. Mix it up a little bit. Yeah, just do something, man. Just mix it up. 7th round, Canelo makes a big adjustment, changes from the big right hook that he was throwing to the arms to the shoulder, and just comes in with more of a straight shot. Cracks Jermell, cracks him. And you could see that hurt Jermell, and he comes in with another like left, and Jermell's like, you know what? I might need to take a break right now. So your boy goes down on one knee.
Oh, dang.
Because he got
no shame.
cracked, man.
People shame that sometimes. No shame.
Live to find another round, you know?
Yeah.
But that was pretty much the biggest moment of the fight. Other than that, it was Canelo marching him down, cutting off the ring, doing a really good job of mixing it up, man. And Jermell, you know, he started waking up a little bit again in the 9th round. You know, the corner's telling him going into 11th, he's like, do you want to win? Like, you're gonna have to do something.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, you got to show us something. Like you got to go all out, right? And he started picking up the pace a little bit. But look, man. You mentioned Jermell's moving up a few weight classes, fighting for the title.
Different cardio.
You know, it's a big opportunity. Yeah, it's a big change, man. It'd be different if he was just going, you know, from 154 to like 160 or something like that. I think they both weighed in at 167.5. It's a pretty big change. You're going up against one of the biggest names of the sport, huge power puncher. So I could see how he might go in there just thinking like, hey, I'm going to have to play my cards right here. And I'm going to be a little more cautious.
An elusive power puncher? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
But the thing is, like, when Jermell showed glimpses of what made him a title holder in his division, that speed, man, that speed was there, you know?
Yeah.
But the timing beats speed a lot of the times, and that's what Canelo really has, right? So overall, it was a pretty fun fight. It was a pretty fun fight.
Right on. I probably won't rewatch it, but
yeah, it's not something you definitely have to go back and rewatch for sure.
Yeah. Right on though. Boxing. You know.
Cause boxing, man. Hey, dude, I still, you know, every once in a while when there's a big fight like this, I still tune in because, like I said, that's what I started watching, man. You know, I grew up watching boxing, so if there's still a big event like this that I could watch and you know, have some memories, you know, trip down memory lane, why not? Why not?
I mean, I do love the sport. I do love the fights. It's just, there's just a lot of bullshit that
everything else that comes along with the sport right now, right?
Yeah. What do we got next week?
Oh man, I think who do we have? Is it Holling Home?
Friday we got One Fight Night 15. Tan Lee is fighting Freemanov for the interim lightweight championship because Tang Kai had to pull out because of injury. So that's a banger, dude. Freemanov is insane.
We also have
champ.
LFA 169 with your boy Landry Ward headlining LFA 169. Oh, so dude, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Shout out Landry Ward. The future.
Ringside tickets ready. I'm ready, dude.
The future. Ringside?
Yeah, or octagon side. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you're like cage side?
Huh?
You cage side?
Well, I'm not like, let's say the cage is right here. I'm not sitting like right next to the cage. You know, there's gonna be a little barrier around it, but I'll be right there.
Hell yeah.
Actually, you know, I'll call Landry right now. Be like, yo, dude, you got room in your corner?
I see things, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, shout out Landry Ward.
You know what I
think, dude, if he gets the win here, I think that's it, dude.
Off to the races.
That's a wrap.
It's off to the races, dude. I am all in.
Same. Yeah. I mean, it's just a matter of time. I think it's inevitable. He'll make it to a big show at least.
For sure.
Let's see what else we have. John DeBella is fighting Daniel Williams. Kickboxing main event. DeBella is so good. He's the champ. Daniel Williams is a fucking gamer. I feel like they just throw him into the wolves constantly, but he's tough as nails. Tawan Chai was supposed to fight Superbond, and Superbond tore his calf like in half. The MRI is gnarly. And not horizontal, vertical. It is bad. But so he's fighting Smoking Joe. Props to Smoking Joe. Props to Smoking Joe. I like that nickname. You come in on short notice to fight Tawan Chai, you're gnarly.
Almost as good as Ugly Man Joe, you know?
Yeah. Pacio's on there. Mikey Musumeci versus Shinya Aoki. So sick. Aoki the legend. Musumeci the new school. Nasayukin's back on the card. That's a fun card. And then the UFC is headlining with Grant Dawson versus Bobby Green. What a main event. Huge Bobby Green fan.
Waiting for.
Yeah. Grant Dawson should be fighting higher in the rankings, in my opinion. I love Bobby Green. I don't like this matchup.
Not a good matchup. Not a good matchup.
No. Joe Pyfer, that's like Dana's boy. He's fighting Abdul Razak Al Hassan. The boy
Good name.
Morono, Alex Morono, the legend. He's fighting Joaquin Buckley. That's a good fight. Drew Dober's on there versus Rick Glenn. That's also a very good fight. Felipe Lins. Yeah, versus Ian Kutalaba, your boy.
I almost look forward to his weigh-ins more than his fights, quite honestly.
Yeah, the weigh-ins.
There's always something going on, dude. Always so intense.
Monster Tony says Crimson Chin. Man, that chin on Drew Dober, huh? Insane.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Insane. Bill Aljo's on there versus chin. Alexander Hernandez. Karolina Kowalkiewicz is on there versus Belvita. She coming off a win, right? She took forever. She was like 3 fights down. Got a win. Wow, no, she was on a 5-fight wins losing streak, and then she beat Felice Herrig, Gomez Juarez, and then your girl Demopoulos. So she's on a little bit of a run here late in her career.
Not my girl Demopoulos. Let's not forget who she sent a birthday message to, Will. Was it a birthday message?
Don't be so pouty or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be so pouty.
Legend for that. Chris Gutierrez versus Montel Jackson. Montel Jackson, where's he been, man? He's so skilled. Man, I feel like he just hasn't been able to like get on a run, but he's so good against Chris Gutierrez. That's a fun fight. Johnny Munoz Jr. versus Arisha Lang. That's good.
Oh, speaking of Demopoulos,
your girl's on there.
Yeah,
against my girl Murata, dude. Let's go. What else we got? Nate Manis versus
Nate Manis.
Yeah,
Montana De La Rosa. Okay, I mean it is what it is. JJ Aldrich. Yeah. Okay. Meh.
Yeah. Grant Dawson deserves to be in main event. I think he deserves somebody higher than Bobby Green, and I think Bobby Green deserves more exciting fights than Grant Dawson.
Yeah.
Grant Dawson's very good, but he's going to take Bobby Green down, and he's going to out-grapple him and get the win. And that bums me out.
All right. Well, fun weekend with one championship. Thank you, Juan, for having those fights. Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah. Also, thank you for that. That was awesome. Also, PFL had their Paris card, and they didn't have U.S. broadcast, but they were able to tweet the whole main event with Doumbé because he slept him in 7 seconds, and it was incredible. And then apparently, I haven't gotten to see it, but apparently had the crowd on the edge of their seat and hanging off his every word in the post-fight, called out Fernand Lopez for beating up his ex. It was crazy, apparently. His walkout, he came out with a sleeping bag or a sleeping pad or something like that. He's like, I'm going to knock this guy out. He's going to need this. Fucking amazing. The UFC fucked up so bad by letting him walk. It's insane. And dude, Glory kickboxing champion, and he's out there blasting dudes and like he's the welterweight Pereira. You know what I mean? I mean, very different skill, like technique-wise and stuff. But dude, he does this thing where he like leans forward over his lead leg, and you're like, I can hit this guy. And then he throws something, and he's like, no. He's like, that's the whole point. And then he cracks you. I mean, very skilled. Apparently now he's like amazing on the mic also. He used to be a stand-up comedian, so that probably helps. The UFC fucked up with this one, dude.
Man.
They really screwed up. PFL got a good one here, dude. They really did.
All right. Hey, well, thank you, Blunderbub, Monster Tony, Genevieve, of course, Colleen for joining us. We really, really appreciate all the support that we get. Toasty joined us as well. It's always a good time, though, whenever we're able to chat fights with everybody through here. We've talked about it before. If you know anybody that likes mixed martial arts, likes boxing, likes anything that has to do with fighting, hey, send them our way. Send them our way.
The more the merrier, you know?
Why not? You know? But yeah, please like, subscribe. Tell them to hit that notification bell so they get notified whenever we're going live. If we do any fight companions, any clips that drop. Sometimes people don't have time, Will, to sit around for an hour and 20 minutes and listen. So if they want to, they can always just listen to specific clips that we upload, right? There's a lot they could do.
Fighter interviews. They can go to timestamps, fighter interviews. We got a bunch of stuff.
A little bit of everything.
Gaming content coming at the end of this month. It's October. At the end of this month, the new UFC game comes out. Maybe there's something around the corner with that, potentially. I don't know.
All right. Well, hey, that's all I got. Do you have anything else, Will?
No, thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it.
And thank you to the one and only producer of this show, Rich the Casual, Richard Bustos. Hey, there we go. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to another week of Story of the Fight.